Wrist check, guys. Before we do the review, I am wearing the beautiful Omega Seamaster today, and we're taking a look at another Swatch Group diver. This is the Longines Hydroconquest ceramic in the 41mm size. So this one is on loan from Exquisite Timepieces. They are the authorized dealer that I love working with. I bought my Speedmaster, my Seamaster, my Oris from them, and just a great authorized dealer. So let me place the dimensions here on the screen, kind of talk a little bit about this watch, its price point. This one comes in a few different color iterations: blue, beautiful sunray blue, black, and this anthracite, which I've got to say looks so good. And it really kind of catches the different hue of the light environment that you're in and reflects it at you. So if you're outside, you're getting a lot of natural yellows from the sun. You'll see that warmth. When we're here in my little studio, you can see a little bit of tungsten in the reflections of the dial. So it really is a gorgeous, execution. And I think if I had to pick one for my own collection, I would go with the anthracite over the black and over the blue, even though those ones are just really beautiful in their own right. Now we have a flat sapphire crystal, excellent anti-reflective treatment. It is a dual side application, so you have some on the top of this flat sapphire crystal as well as the underside. So it really cuts down on the haze and the reflections. The clarity is very clean, which is nice when you want to see that sunray dial, the extra large applied Arabics, and the modified diamond style handset. So, I mean, it looks really good. And if I compare it to an Oris Aquis, which carries one layer of anti-reflective treatment on the underside of the domed crystal, you guys can see a big difference in legibility at a glance. And that's one of the things that I really like about the Longines. Now this carries 300 meters of water resistance, carries BGW9 for the Superluminova application, and I'll give you that lume shot now. So it's actually quite potent, looks very clean in the dark, and there's no mistaking the 12, the 6, and the 9. Now I look at this, and it is so unbalanced with how large those Arabics are that it's almost comical when you look at the watch, but that is part of the appeal. When it's so extreme, it works. Does that make sense? It might sound a little weird, but I really do like the extreme applied markers here, and they look great in low light. Now let's talk about the movement. This carries the L888 movement. I'll show you this on my time grapher. It's running about +5 seconds per day. Nice, strong, healthy amplitude, a small amount of beat error, and a 25,200 beat per hour frequency. The base for this movement is the ETA A31.L01, 21 joules and 65 hours of power reserve. Very tastefully finished as well. Now let me actually pick this up and hold it in front of the camera, and you guys can really see that tungsten reflection of the warm light that I have in this room that we're filming in. And you really can see the light play and how much this pops visually and how beautiful it is. This is a very clean look. And again, I might sound like I'm fawning all over it, guys, but this certainly carries that pop and presence that we like seeing in person. Now let me show you the bezel action. We have 120 click ceramic bezel insert, nice contrast with the indexing. In the bezel action, I would classify as moderate or average. It's nothing, extremely satisfying, but there's nothing really poor about it at the same time. It's just, pretty average, fairly loud too, and everything lines up perfectly. Now let me give you the wrist check here. I have 7.25 inch wrists, and one of the things I love about this is the thin profile. So we're about 12.5 millimeters in overall height from the top of the crystal down to this engraved case back that carries the Wings Hourglass logo. So the look is sharp on the case back, but more importantly, it's got a nice trim profile on wrist. The dominant lugs kind of sweep down below the bottom of the case, the case back, and so it has a natural fit on wrist. Now, my one criticism would be these crown guards are very aggressive. They're very big and angular. So if you have large fingers, it can be a little bit difficult. Sorry, let's get the camera to focus here. It can be a little bit difficult to operate the crown. But I will say the crown has very smooth action, very nice winding action, great feel to the crown. We just have these massive crown guards. And I found that watch fans either seem to love those or they hate those. So you got to decide on which side of the fence you sit in that respect. But I love the long hands. I like the screw links of the bracelet. I think overall the look is very dynamic, very beautiful, has great wrist presence, and kind of a dominant form on wrist. If you look at this, because of the wide lugs, it almost has a rectangular stance on wrist, if that makes sense. Just if you're looking at the form of the watch at a perpendicular angle. So I like the light play, I like the wrist presence, I like the details, I love the movement, I love the quality of the bracelet, the thin profile. Really, this is quite a bit for the retail price of $1,600 on the bracelet. If you opt for the rubber strap, it's still $1,600, and you can likely negotiate a small discount on the model if you buy from an authorized dealer. So, I mean, really, if you're looking for a really solid made Swiss watch that carries good presence, good bang for buck, this is one that you do want to consider. Now let's talk about drawbacks. What would be those? Well, really, there's only one that stands out to me. I think the dominant or the aggressive crown guards, they could go either way. It's more of a personal preference thing. But the thing that I think that Longines has kind of fallen behind in is their clasp. This is fairly dated, if I'm honest. And so let me show you the operation here. We have a pressed metal flip block and a clamshell friction closure here with a nice milled center folding portion. 3 small micro adjustment holes on the side wall of the stamped case, and then a very thin stamped dive extension system. So there's not a lot of adjustment here, and I don't know, it does feel a bit dated. So I would say if you want a great clasp, this is not a great clasp. It's fairly average, fairly dated, but I don't think is a deal breaker, especially when you're considering the rest of the positives about this watch and the price point. This is a Swatch Group brand. Longines carries a lot of brand cachet and prestige. The detail work is excellent. The pop and presence is excellent. The movement is miles nicer than I would say the strongest competitor for the Hydroconquest, and that would be the more expensive Aquis, which carries a base grade Sellita SW200-1. So I really think that there's some great things going on here with the Hydroconquest, and I've really enjoyed having it on my desk here, on my wrist, and sharing it with you guys on the channel. So let me know if there's any specific questions you may have. If I forgot to mention something, I make mistakes in every video, so please point it out to me and I'd be happy to try to elaborate. If you're shopping for Longines, if you're shopping for Oris, if you want to possibly trade in your watch, definitely reach out to my friend Nick of Exquisite Timepieces, the authorized dealer that lent this one in for presentation that I've purchased from several times. Great experiences each time. Nick's contact is in the description of this video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.